Father is rich in houses and land. How many of you have ever found yourself between a rock and a hard place, and instead of telling God, you were telling everybody else, and God is sitting back saying, I'm waiting for you to open up your mouth and tell me. That's why the songwriter said, I must tell Jesus all of my trials. I cannot bear these burdens alone. In my distressing, he kindly helps me. And Jesus will help me alone.
Oh, yes.
Watch this now. Watch this. When you run, you don't realize that the only person you take with you while you're running is you.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, preaching here, preacher.
Running from yourself.
You don't realize that when you run from the very situation that has confronted you, the only person that you are taking with you is you.
All right.
That's why I don't understand people who jump from church to church talking about, I don't want to be at this church because they done made me mad. And when you get to another church, anytime you get to another church and that same problem, that same thing is at the new church that you came to, baby, you can't blame the enemy. It ain't the enemy, it's the enemy that's meaning you. It's you that's got the problem. It's you that's got the situation. You are running with yourself.
Glory, glory.
Preaching here, I'm getting ready to hunk it off in a minute. I'm getting ready to leave y'all in a minute. But the third thing is, not only does he have personal perception, and not only does he have pseudo peace, but lastly, he did not recognize his prophetic place. Watch this, and I'm closing here. Verse number 3, and the Bible says, and when he saw that, he arose and ran for his life. Watch this now. And when he saw that, that's personal perception. The Bible says that he arose and ran for his life. That's pseudo peace. And came to Beersheba, which belonged to Judah.
All right.
And left his servants there.
All right.
Watch this now. I'm getting ready to close, so y'all gonna have to get on the bandwagon here. Bathsheba means a well of an oath.
All right.
And the word oath means a promise.
All right.
Watch this now. Because some of you, if not all of us, have gone to court. And when we get on the witness stand, they ask us to raise our right hand and put your left hand on the Bible. And they say, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. In other words, they're asking you, do you promise that what you are getting ready to say is the actual facts of what actually happened? The Bible says that he gets to Beersheba, which is a well of oath, which is promise. Because when you look back over your life, you realize that what you've been through, if the Lord was able to bring you out of it before, then the Lord is able to do it again. So the text says that he gets to Beersheba, but he only did not recognize where he was in Beersheba. So the Bible says that he began to run even more. Leaving the place of promise, and he finds himself in a cave. And you got to understand understand here now that not only is Bathsheba a place of promise, but he was in the place of promise, but he did not stay in the place of promise, because he was still running for his life. And I stopped by to tell somebody here as I close this text that some of you were in the place of promise, but you didn't stay in the place of promise because you didn't recognize where you was. But I got to close here now, and you found yourself in a cave, all depressed and all bogged down, and then comes the Lord and says, what in the world are you doing right here? Well, I stopped by to tell you that Elijah messed up because he kept on running, and if he only stood where he was, he would have been all right. What are you saying, Bishop? If some of you would only stay where you are right now, you're going to be all right. I know it's hard right now, and I know it's rough right now, but stay where you are and stop running, because if you look at the same text in verse number 3, the Bible says that he came to Bathsheba, which belongeth to Judah. And you got to understand something, that while Bathsheba is the place of promise, Judah is the place of praise. And while you're waiting on the promise, you're trying to figure out what you should be doing. Well, if Bathsheba is the place of promise, and the promise hasn't come yet, but Bathsheba belonging to Judah, and Judah means praise. While you're waiting on the promise, you got to learn how to praise. You got to learn how to give God praise for everything that you're going through, because he promised he'll never leave you nor forsake you. He promised that he'll make the enemies, y'all ain't happy today, your footstools. I wonder if I got a witness here. He promised that all things is going to work together for my good. Lean over and high five your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, he promised never to leave me alone. He promised weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Have I got a witness here? He promised that everything is going to be all right. I got to get out of here now. He promised when my mother and father forsake me, he's going to take me up. He promised that when the odds are stacked against me, he'll never put more on me than I can bear. I'm trying to ask you, what in the world are you doing here? Come out of your depression. Come out of your cave. Give the Lord your problems.